Hi everyone, Monique here, Intuitive Soul Savant. Welcome back to the channel and thank you for allowing me to speak into your lives. If you're after a reading from me, a consultation, have a look in the description box. Also, in the description box is the first video, my recent release, which is all about Jupiter into Gemini. Today, though, we're going to go through the houses. So if you know what your rising sign is, I'm going to go through that, each sign, and I'll have timestamps there for you. What else is there? Oh, I'll just quickly give you some keywords, just as a reminder of what we spoke in the last video. So Jupiter is now in Sagittarius nearly for a week. It's been there. However, we're going to include Uranus ideas into this reading because Uranus will be in Gemini next July. The two won't be there together at all. It'll be Jupiter leaving Gemini, and then a couple of weeks later, Uranus will ingress for the first time into Gemini, and then it retrogrades back into Taurus just for a little bit, and then it'll go forward on into Gemini for a fair few years. Okay, so those themes of the Uranus in Gemini will apply because Jupiter's opening the gates. Okay, Jupiter is shedding light, expanding that area of your chart, your Gemini area of your chart. And remember, no outer planets other than Jupiter and Saturn have been in Gemini in all of my lifetime. Okay, and even in my auntie's lifetime. All right. Yeah, those people have passed, and they're probably back here now as Gen Zs. All right. Okay, everybody. So these keywords, communications. Okay, A to B. I'm saying something, somebody else receives it. Now with Jupiter, with communications, there could be too much communicating. Okay, gossip, Chinese whispers, all of that sort of stuff is Gemini ruled. And then with Jupiter, we have expansion with Jupiter. We have truth-telling with Jupiter. Opportunities are available with Jupiter. We gain confidence in that area of our chart, the Gemini area. We will gain confidence in that area. We'll have the enthusiasm in that area. And with all of that, there'll be recognition. It's all good stuff with Jupiter, but we have to be careful because we can go overboard and believe we can't lose. You know what I mean? I can't lose, I can't lose. And you know, it's all in the mind there. We can get very excited. And also remember that Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the trickster as well. Okay, so some false information. Don't believe everything you hear is the message. Don't believe everything you hear with Jupiter and Gemini. Mercury is our 3D planet. Uranus, a higher octave of Mercury, is our 4D planet. And then Neptune is our 5D planet. Okay, yeah, all right. Unless we find some other planets, I would then give that to a 5D awareness. But at the moment, we've only got this many planets, and I give it to Neptune. Okie dokie. Yes, overthinking, another thing for Jupiter and Gemini in whatever area of your house. So I'm going to put my glasses on, and there'll be timestamps. So I'll just take a pause. This is the first time I've ever done a video running through the houses. So wish me luck. And thank you for watching. Thank you very, very much for supporting me and watching. Okay, because the more supporters, the more the message can get out there to people that resonate like you and me. Okay, so we're in a community of soul tribe. Okay, so we're sort of resonating, vibrating at that frequency. Okie doke, everybody, we're going to start. Aries rising. You're going to have Jupiter ingress into your third house. Now, you've had Jupiter in the second house. So money, possessions, your value systems, they've all expanded, all right? And that may free you up for more education. Okay, so the third house rules education, and knowledge, but on more so on the 3D level, okay? So lower education, and teaching as well, all right? So there could be opportunities there for teaching, and opportunities is the key word. Not all opportunities are available to us. So if I'm saying there'll be an expansion if they're in this area, if the opportunity comes and you're not ready, well, you know, that wasn't meant for you. But Jupiter is all about opportunities, and in the third house, it's about your education, your knowledge, your skills, you know, whatever skills you have. Gemini rules the hands, okay? So any skills that you've got going, services, that you use your hands. I'm a masseuse, could be hairdressing, anything that the hands are needed, okay? So there's skills that you've got the opportunity to upgrade on. Now, the third house is also your neighbors and your relatives and sisters, and also local travel, all right? So, you know, your communications in a good way could be expanded with Jupiter ingressing into your third house. Now, remember, Uranus is coming along. So there's going to be an awakening in that house, okay, the third house. So you know, maybe having more contact with neighbors, also relatives, okay, and sisters, your family, okay, your siblings. It's the house of siblings, the third house. So there could be more expansion there. You may find that you're going to visit them if they're living in another state, another area. You might find that this next year, with Jupiter ingressing the third house, that you'll have more opportunities to go and visit your relatives or your siblings, okay? But this is a great time to upskill, okay? There'll be opportunities for you to upskill as well. And, you know, this is the house of communications. So with Jupiter, you know, the phone may not stop ringing, the emails may keep coming, and you can't do it all. All right, you can't do it all. With Jupiter, yes, it's all lovely and it feels great, but we have to draw a line. Jupiter and Saturn work together. Remember, Jupiter can only go as far out as Saturn allows. So we may have to call a halt to how much communication in a day that we're having. Otherwise, we can get too frazzled. All right. Now, Jupiter is natural house is the ninth house, and the ninth house opposes this third house, okay? So Jupiter isn't as comfortable in that third house because Jupiter is more expansive when it comes to communications, learning, okay? And you really will need, you know, the Jupiter ingressing the third house, you need to watch what you're listening to. Okay, so everything you hear may not be the truth. You're going to have to decide for yourself through your own awareness, you know, what to believe and what not to believe, because you could be bombarded with communications, right? Messages left, all that sort of stuff. Don't believe everything you hear with Jupiter ingressing the third house. Now, Uranus is going to come along and awaken that third house. So this year, you may just get the idea that you want to change your day-to-day job, and you need to go to a secondary education, the TAFE college. I think in the Northern Hemisphere, you call it community college. We call it TAFE college here in Australia. So you may decide this year and be thinking, yeah, I want to change my day-to-day jobs. And so in comes Uranus next year, and this will be flipping and awakening all of those areas from a 3D to a 4D awareness. Okay, so just those areas, your communication. So there could be expansions this year with your siblings, but then Uranus comes in as an awakener, and there might be a fallout with those siblings, and it could happen really quickly. Okay, you might have to move really quickly. You know, you may find yourself with Uranus that it brings in another job where you are on the road all the time, but in a local capacity. Okay, so be aware of Uranus following Jupiter, right? So Jupiter's going to expand and give you opportunities that I think you really do need to consider well, knowing that Uranus is coming in to change that area of your chart. So maybe it's just Jupiter will bring a more expanded awareness of those third house issues where you have Gemini in the third house. So thank you very much, Aries risings. Okay, and I will see you soon. Hi, how are you going? We're now on to the second house, Jupiter ingressing the second house, and you would have a Taurus rising if Jupiter is ingressing your second house, and this is the house of money. However, it's not the house of money, and it originally wasn't the house of money. When Venus was created, we weren't even here, and money wasn't even a thing. Okay, but as astrology has evolved and coins were made, and that is our trade, okay, you know, it's all about money. However, Venus is love, and Venus is also self-love, right? And Venus is the ruler of the second house. Now, you've got Jupiter coming in there. So what we are now talking second house as a financial house, okay, because of where we live. But really before that, we need to take note that it's self-love. Venus is self-love. When we have self-love, second house, our values, we value ourself. We trust that our values, our personal values that we've been given, will bring finances. Our value system, we will have confidence in our own value system with Jupiter ingressing the second house. Now, with Gemini on the second house here, you know, I would look at that as, you know, you'd be very good at trading. You'd be very good at social media. Communications would be very valuable to the Taurus rising. All right. So with Jupiter coming along, the opportunities for expansion with second house matters, your value system, money, possessions, okay, will expand. And second house matters are also about our comfort. So more money could be brought in to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. The second house is also our talents. With Jupiter coming in to expand that second house, you may find talents that you weren't even aware of, or that now start to rise that you'd like to activate and bring in to your daily life. All right. Now, the other thing about the second house and Jupiter is that, yes, there'll be more opportunities to make money, to receive money. However, you may feel like spending more money. You're going to have to keep a Saturn rein on your finances, all right? Jupiter can only travel as far out as Saturn will let Jupiter. Okay, so yes, we're all about expansion and we want new things. However, we've got to be very careful that we're spending within our limits, because the confidence comes with Jupiter. And you may think, oh, wow, the money's never going to stop. And that is very normal to have, you know, some great, a high tide with finances. And when we're riding that high tide of finances, that hot wave, we think it's never going to stop. We think it's never going to stop, but it does, because everything happens within waves, okay? And there's a tarot card I'm trying to think about. You know, what goes up must come down. So you've got to be very careful that you're aware that, yes, these opportunities are racing in the door to the Gemini second house person. But I need to be careful because Jupiter will only be here for 12 months. All right. So you guys can go and buy some lottery tickets and, you know, raffle tickets or whatever you'd like. Also, with this second house, I'd advise to stash away while you're on the high rise with the money. Put some money away. It's not going to be forever. And I'm not dampening your law of attraction abundance philosophy at all. You know, we work in cycles. Life works in cycles. So what goes up must come down. And you guys are very lucky to have all of these opportunities coming in, you know, to be able to trade more. If you've got a business, more clients, more trading, feeling worthy of the expansion of your finances and your possessions and your value system, right? Maybe you're a lot younger and you're not even aware what a value system is. Well, with Jupiter ingressing, the light is going to be shined. The opportunities are going to be there for you to find out more so what you value. Okay, and then Uranus is going to come. And if you don't know what you value, or if you're following any area of your life because of another person, then, you know, with Uranus awakening your second house, you are going to become aware of your value system. And you will be asked from Uranus, who is awakening you next year, and your money and your finances, you will find that the lessons, you know, you're going to learn lessons. Maybe you're terrible with money. Gemini, second house, yeah, you know, they're an air sign. So they're not earth sign, they're an air sign. And they like to flutter around, butterfly around, Geminis. So, you know, you may find yourself with Gemini as well, it's short-term travel. You could be taking trips up the coast because you've now got more money to do that, trips down the coast, trips, local trips, I'm talking, not international, okay? So, you know, be careful of your money this year. Enjoy it by all means. You're going to feel the enjoyment and you know, the fun of what an expansion is in the second house, but keep in mind that it's not always going to be like that, okay? And that will depend on your habits, okay, and how you deal with money and whether you're connected with your value system, because every individual on this planet has a different value system, and our value system isn't even the value system that was given from our parents. We have our own unique individual value system, and often, more often than not, the majority of people take on their parents' value system because they think that that's what we do. But you have your own value system. Second house, Gemini, Taurus rising people, you have your own value system. So it's a good time to shed light and see what expands, okay? So thank you very much. And I'll see you all soon, Taurus risings. Hi, how you going, Gemini risings? Yes, the spotlight is on you. You are all lit, okay? And you will be lit for the next decade, okay? You are going to be busy when it comes to cosmic energy, all right? And you're going to have a great awakening. So congratulations to all Geminis. It may not feel fun, but on the other side of it, you're going to be yourself more, your true self, okay? So Gemini risings, of course, Gemini, the first house, the ascendant. So when Jupiter crosses the ascendant, the confidence, your self-confidence in yourself is going to rise. You're going to feel more optimism. You're going to feel good about yourself. But one word here, be careful of your weight, okay? When Jupiter ingresses the first house and a couple of the other houses, we could have weight gain, and we may not even be overeating, right? But it can just be fluid, but it's only going to hang around as long as Jupiter hangs around. All right. So the first house is about the self, and the first house is the energy and themes of the way we see you. Okay. So we see you as a Gemini. Your sun sign may be very different, but with a Gemini rising, we see you as a Gemini. It's the mask. The ascendant is the mask to hide the true divinity within, which is your sun sign. Okay. So you can look to the future here. Okay. So Jupiter is crossing your ascendant. Now Jupiter is heading down, right? Heading down. So if you look at your chart and Jupiter is rising up the right-hand side of your chart, it's building in energy. It reaches the 10th house and then it's waning in energy until it gets down to the 4th house, and then it starts to build again. So as far as big picture goes, you've had your peak when it comes to Jupiter. So take that into account, because you could look forward to the bigger picture here. And I'm talking another 8 years, right? Plans for 8 years down the track. You do need to be careful of overconfidence, okay, with Jupiter. Wherever Jupiter is, yes, it expands. Yes, it brings optimism. Yes, it brings opportunities. However, because Gemini rules the mind, in our mind, we may think that all this goodness coming is never going to stop. Oh, look, I've hit the jackpot, and it's just always going to be that way. And that's actually what humans think. But everything works in waves, all right? Having Gemini and Jupiter transiting the first house, because it's the self, it's all areas of the life. So Jupiter can expand all areas of your life, all the themes. It can work through all the houses, okay? Especially if it's making aspects to your other planets, okay? The will, all right? So you will have the will to do things that maybe you've been reflecting on when Jupiter was in the 12th house. So Jupiter's been in your 12th house. Life has been quite dull, you could say, but that dullness was more for you to go within and to have awareness and truth, Jupiter, around your spirituality. Jupiter may have also expanded the awareness to your subconscious while it was in the 12th house. So now you're more conscious, right, of what and where and who and when you would like things to happen. And with Jupiter in the first house, you know, you're going to feel great. There's no bad energy there for you except overconfidence, weight issues, overdoing it, okay? We've got to stay mindful, because Jupiter can come along and just make us so positive and woohoo. We've got to find that equanimity. All right. So yes, it's really good. All these good things are happening. However, I know that I've just got to keep a lid on it for a little bit. Not a lid, but just don't go overboard. You know, there's no overboarding with Jupiter in the first house. And then remember, Uranus is coming along next year for you, and you will be having a great awakening. This is like Uranus conjuncting your natal sun. It's your ego, it's yourself that is going to have a great awakening. Now, when we have Uranus coming to such an important house, like our first house, our ascendant, you know, before the because Uranus also rules chaos, remember. So for us to have this great awakening, it could be very chaotic. So keep that in mind. You really need to be aware this next year before Uranus comes, Just keep it in the back of your mind that whatever you're doing this next year with Jupiter, make sure that it's a bigger picture. Jupiter rules the bigger picture. Look down the track. Uranus is coming. Uranus is coming into your first house. And with Uranus comes change. And with change comes chaos. And with chaos comes a rebirth. All right? Everything gets thrown into the air and falls down, and we've got to start again, so to speak. So what you're thinking now is not going to be the same in 2 years' time, or 3 years' time, or 4 years' time, however long it takes for Uranus to awaken you into the fourth dimension. So have fun. Have fun, Gemini risings. It's all about you in the next year, but it's going to get hectic. Once again, with all Gemini energy, be careful of what you hear. Be careful, because Mercury rules Gemini, and it's the trickster. It's gossip. It's all of that fake newsy stuff. So, you know, for everybody, be careful about what you're listening to and whether it's the truth. Jupiter rules the truth, and it rules higher learnings. You might find that you're going into a spiritual practice, having it in the first house, or in any area, okay? Gemini risings, Jupiter can bring opportunities in any area of your whole chart, okay? And if you'd like a reading from me, have a look in the description box, and I can help you along the way and show you your path, okay? Lovely. Thank you very much, Gemini. Congratulations. Hi, Cancer risings. How are you? You've got Jupiter has ingressed into your 12th house. Okay. And this is a quiet year. Jupiter brings opportunities, Jupiter expands. All right. But when we're discussing the 12th house, this is all things hidden. This is your subconscious. This is introspection, reflection. It's also service, all right? It's behind the scenes. So you may find with Jupiter ingressing your 12th house that you're more inclined to want to sit back, relax, reflect, read a spiritual book. You may find that you're more compassionate this year, empathetic and more sensitive to others, okay, because it is the 12th house, and Pisces ruled that house, so it's all things Neptune. Now having Gemini in the 12th house, you're very mercurial, so to actually sit back and allow yourself to reflect or meditate even, this would be a great year to start meditation, an excellent year to start meditating, because Jupiter will be on your side. Even though the mind is going to be expanded, the desire will be to calm the mind, all right? You'll have spiritual protection this year, and you may feel a bit lazy, dreamy, but that's all to bring you back to self for introspection. You might like to study metaphysical studies this year, because, you know, Gemini is going to be awakened by that Uranian energy. So you've got Uranus ingressing into your 12th house for many years, the great awakener. So you could have Jupiter coming in to expand your awareness of these areas, to bring opportunities for spiritual, metaphysical, occult studies when Uranus ingresses. Okay, and as I've explained, when Uranus ingresses into a planet for the first, into a sign, because it takes 84 years for Uranus to orbit. So when Uranus ingresses into a new sign, there's chaos and change that comes about. So whatever your life's looking at now, Jupiter is going to bring the opportunities for 12th house matters introspection, spirituality, spiritual renewal, truth, compassion, volunteering for causes that you're interested, giving back to the collective. That there will be, because this house is also the house of trauma and trauma healing, okay, along with the 8th house, yes. But with the introspection, you're allowing time for any trauma to come up. And then Uranus is coming in, and if that trauma hasn't been looked at, Gemini 12th houses, Cancer risings, you're going to have that opportunity with Uranus to have an awakening, spiritual awakening. And that will run on for many years, but it could look very chaotic in the beginning. So I advise that this would be the time for meditation. Gemini's mercurial energy, the mind is just going on and on and on, darting here and there, and meditation is the way to train the mind. You're not only just calming the mind, you're training the mind and changing the mind. I can't think of the word I'm wanting. You're changing the way that the mind is thinking at the moment. All right, and it needs to be calm to be rewired for Uranus, because Uranus is electrical energy in our body. All right, so it's a big job for you, Cancer risings, a big job. However, having a Cancer rising, you're highly aware of the emotional body. All right, but those 12th house, they're hidden from you. There's things in that 12th house, the Gemini house, that are hidden from you, and it may just be knowledge itself. Having a Cancer rising, yes, you are reflective. You are able to sit at home and reflect. But your spirituality might be all in the mind and not in practicing. Okay, so we've got some big years for you, Cancer rising, coming up, and great opportunities with Jupiter opening the gates for Uranus. So go and read that spiritual book. All right, all the best, and I'll see you soon, Cancer risings. Right, now we're up to Leo rising. Hello, Leo risings. I give you the jazz hands because I know that you will appreciate it with Leo risings. It's our 11th house. Jupiter is going to ingress into your 11th house, and that's a lovely place for Jupiter to be. Jupiter loves to be in the 11th house, all right? And then Uranus is coming back, is going to ingress next year into your 11th house, and Uranus rules Aquarius, and the 11th house is Aquarius's house. So isn't that wonderful? You've got Jupiter opening the gates, and then you've got Uranus, who's quite at home in the 11th house. Now, the 11th house is all about our friends, our groups, networking with each other. You know, with Gemini there, it's a community as well, all right? Now, we know that Aquarius rules a collective, and so does Uranus, okay, the awakening of the collective. So with Gemini on the 11th house, you could bring this back to community, the community within the collective, if you know what I mean, okay? It's also about social media. So it is networking, and, you know, with the web, the internet, you know, we can network all around the world with anybody who's got an internet connection, okay? But I advise with Jupiter ingressing the 11th house, there's an expansion of your networking within your local community, because this is what Uranus wants, us to come back into community living, to rely on our community rather than a big world order. Okay, so the 11th house is about our goals, our dreams, our wishes, and Jupiter has just ingressed the 10th house. So there's been an expansion there of your status and your profession and the way that we see you in the world. You've had this Jupiter in the 10th house, expanding all of that area. So now, as it moves into the 11th house, you'll see the fruits and the benefits of what you did in the 10th house. Remembering that Jupiter is about opportunities. Now, opportunities come and go. If we're not ready for the opportunity, that's okay. It will pass us by. What's yours is meant to come to you. Okay, so there will be opportunities. This is like a 4D level community activity I'm talking about as well. You'll have more tolerance of others as Jupiter ingresses into the 11th house. You know, with Jupiter in the 11th, opening the gates for Uranus, you know, this is like the expansion of the networking to help the collective. And, you know, you may become very interested in alternative topics, because Jupiter, Gemini is all about learning, and having Gemini on the 11th house, Jupiter ingressing, you know, you could be expanding alternative topics and studies as well. Okay, all ready for Uranus to come in and awaken these. So there's a big leveling up for the Leo risings. Clubs and associations, you know, you might join more, you might have the opportunity to join any groups and clubs or associations with others in your local community. It's very important with Pluto ingressing into Aquarius. This is what Pluto wants to level up the collective, and the collective's made up of communities. So I advise, as an astrologer, I advise you Leo risings are going to be set out into your communities to bring positivity and hope in this 3D environment and what's going on out there. All right. Think long terms. You know, think about the long term, because this is goals, hopes, and wishes. So with Jupiter there, Jupiter is all about, you know, giving you the opportunities for your goals, hopes, and wishes. So just make sure that they're long-term goals, hopes, and wishes, because if they're just short-term and they're only benefiting yourself, yeah, Uranus isn't going to like that, okay? Because Uranus wants the Leo rising to benefit the collective. And we start doing that in small groups. That's how we start. We start within our local area or a YouTube group, like my little group here, like-minded others, okay? So Leo risings, you know, it's your time to shine. It really is. In the next few years, it is your time to shine. So Jupiter's coming in to make you feel good about that. And then Uranus is going to come in and awaken you to anything that you're not aware of already about helping and serving the collective. All right. So any other questions, just ask in the comments box and I can answer that. Remembering that I'm a Leo rising, and it's always hardest to talk about your own, or to predict your own chart. Okay. But, you know, I resonate with this 11th house, Jupiter and then Uranus. So thank you very much, Leos. Lovely to have you here. Get your shine on and get out into the community and shine it out. All right. Thanks, Leo risings. Virgo rising, how you going? Welcome Jupiter into your 10th house, Virgo risings. And this is a wonderful place. It's reached its peak. Jupiter has reached its peak. From here on out, Jupiter is going to be waning as it goes through the 11th, 12th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd house. Right? So the big picture is going to come full circle. And it isn't until Jupiter gets to our 4th house, our Scorpio house, that Jupiter will then rise again to go back up to the 10th house. You know what I mean? So grab this energy this year. That's what I'm saying. Grab this energy this year. This is not go big, go big or go home. You know, you're looking at the bigger picture. You're looking at the next 12 years as far as career and status goes, okay? Because this is the house of status. So you may, with Jupiter coming in there, well, Jupiter in there, you know, you'll gain, you may find that you've got the opportunities to gain more status in your profession as well as your marriage, okay? Because the 10th house opposes the 4th house, which is our family house. And usually, well, you know, not anymore, but marriage and the 4th house are closely connected. This is public recognition house, the 10th house. So if you wrote a book and got published when Jupiter was in the 9th house, then here we go, your book's out there for sale and we're all looking at you, all right? Professional success is the 10th house. Opportunities for expansion in your profession or your personal business, whatever you're doing, even new job opportunities. If you're not on stage, Virgo risings, but you could be a teacher. You know, you could be in front of the people as a teacher with a Virgo rising. There'll be opportunities for job advancement, okay? This is a great house with Jupiter there to have great luck and great opportunities and great enthusiasm for promoting yourself or your business, stepping into the limelight so that we can all see you. This is great if you've got to deal with authority figures. They favor you when Jupiter is ingressing into the 10th house. Now, we are talking Gemini on the 10th house. So your trade, you know, your profession could be trading. So there'll be an expansion in the trading of your business or your company's business, okay? There'll be awards that could be given to you from any area where you're in the public eye. You'll feel the freedom. You'll feel more freedom in your career, okay? And because you're feeling more worthy as well, with Jupiter ingressing that 10th house, your self-worth is on board, okay? So you're more liable to step out, but you will need integrity, which is 10th house issue with the Capricorn rules the 10th house, and that's always about honesty and integrity. All right, now Geminis, you know, you're ruled by Mercury, and Mercury can be the trickster. Okay, so integrity and honesty is very, very important for Virgo risings, because that's your success. As long as you keep it clean, you know, the success will come to you, the limelight will come to you, okay? But keep it clean, keep it honest, and keep your integrity. But I know Virgo risings, they have a lot of integrity on board, okay? They have a lot of integrity. So Jupiter is very fortunate in the 10th house. So enjoy that. But keep in mind, Uranus is coming into the 10th house for you, Virgo risings, next year in July. So whatever's happening in that career house, keep that in mind. Because if you're off track and you're not doing what you're meant to be doing, or what you desire to do, or what your value system wants you to do, Uranus can come in there and change all of that, and maybe you've got to have a career change. Jupiter could be shedding light, bringing truth to you regarding the career that you've got at the moment. Maybe you've been complaining about your career for the last 2 years. Jupiter comes along, gives you the confidence to leave. Then Uranus comes along, and by happenstance, by something happening, quick change that you wouldn't even think about, that career could finish and a new career could start. And if you go, oh, I don't want that to happen, well, be aware of the bigger picture. Jupiter is always about the bigger picture. And the problem is that with Jupiter, we can think too positively. We can think, oh, it's never going to change. I'm always going to have this fame. I'm always going to have this fortune. I'm always going to have all these new subscribers come in, or what have you. But it's not like that. Okay, success, it's in waves. okay? The Wheel of Fortune in the tarot card. Think of that, the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot card. So Jupiter's right at the top, that Jupiter's going to be waning. So be aware, set yourself up for the future. Even though Gemini is really only concerned about the now, okay, be aware of the future. So think wisely with integrity and honesty, Virgo risings. All right, thank you, Virgo risings. Libra risings, welcome. You've got Jupiter ingressing the 9th house, and Jupiter is at home in the 9th house. Jupiter loves the 9th house. Your attitude this year is going to be very positive, and you're going to feel positive about expansion in general, and you're going to be very optimistic. It's Gemini in the 9th house, okay? And Gemini rules the 3rd house. So that 3rd and the 9th house are polar opposites. Jupiter loves being there, but Gemini not so much, okay? Because Gemini is more local, and Sagittarius, that rules that 9th house ordinarily, is more international, okay? But for you, you're going to have a very positive attitude. You may find that you've got the opportunity to travel overseas. You may find the opportunity that you're able to mix and mingle with foreign cultures, because that's what will be interesting you. You may, with a Gemini there maybe you might be reading a lot of books. Your whole mind is going to expand as far as culture and the world, right, internationally goes. Also study. You may find that that you either finish or you start a higher education, in university, something like that. You may become more interested in philosophy, reading more about philosophy. If you're a writer, because a lot of Geminis are writers, and this is a great time to get your book published. Publishers love it when the 9th house of your chart is lit, okay? And so with higher studies, with publishing, you know, go for it. Go for it. And then as Jupiter ingresses into the 10th house next year, that's when, you know, the fame or the notoriety can come for you, Gemini, in the 9th house, you know, with your publishing over the next year. And remember that Uranus is coming along next year. So all of your higher philosophies can be expanded with Uranus from a 3D mentality to a 4D mentality. So you may never have been interested in spirituality or metaphysics or occultism or anything like that. But with Jupiter ingressing into your 9th house, Jupiter's going to shed light, bring opportunities for the expansion of your awareness around spiritual, philosophical matters. And then Uranus comes, and there's your big awakening. Uranus is going to awaken your 9th house of higher learning, higher awareness, international themes, very much so international. So, you know, you will get the opportunity to travel overseas in the next decade. Advertising and promotion is good here, okay? So it's a good time for you to advertise or to promote yourself or to just step out into the international culture. A YouTube channel, great way to do it, because, you know, in all countries in the world can tune into you, okay? So when Uranus comes along, you know, these are the themes that Uranus will be awakening. And always with Uranus, for the changes to happen, there can be chaos. Chaos. It's not like Pluto, where Pluto pulls the rug out from under you and, oh my God, what happened? With Uranus, it's like change. Oh my God, everything's in chaos and I don't know, you know, where to go. But it'll become very clear. And Jupiter is giving you that higher awareness, that big picture thinking, big picture thinking. This is really important. Look to the future. Whatever's happening this year, know that next July things could change. So take that into consideration and have fun. Enjoy it. Jupiter is coming home. Enjoy it. But be careful. Don't be too overconfident. Don't take too many gambles with those themes of the 9th house. All right. Thank you very much to the Libra risings. Scorpio rising, how are you? So we have Jupiter ingressing your 8th house. Now, Scorpio rules the 8th house. Okay, so all areas of that 8th house are not new to the Scorpio rising. So there could be some deep healing come about in the 12th house. I always think of the 8th house. Sorry about that. I'm thinking 12th house because that's another area of our chart where trauma comes up from the subconscious, and the 8th house is the house of transformation. So before we can transform ourselves, and Scorpio risings know this, before we can transform, we have to rid ourselves, like plumbing, plumb out the dross, plumb out what's no longer serving us, whether that comes from our family conditioning or something that you've picked up, you know, and you're aware that you do not want to continue, it isn't serving you in this life. With Jupiter ingressing the 8th house, there could be spiritual contentment there. You may have done the work. With Jupiter in the 7th house, you may have had a marriage breakdown, and it may have been very traumatic. With Jupiter ingressing into the 8th house, you can do the work. You can do the work in this house. And not only that, if there's a divorce happening, well, then there'll be a fair. It'll be fair for you, okay? Because it's the house of inheritance as well. So there could be an inheritance come to you with Jupiter ingressing that 8th house. As a Scorpio rising, you know, therapy would be great. This is the year if you want to do any therapy. There's great success around therapy. There's great, because you're more vulnerable. All right, the Scorpio rising will be more vulnerable with Jupiter ingressing that 8th house. And there's healing. Healing takes place. All right, but keep in mind Uranus is on the way. So if you haven't, if you're a young Scorpio rising and you haven't yet experienced your first dark night of the soul, this could be the year that it takes place. And if not this year, when Uranus ingresses into the 8th house, it's the Great Awakener Uranus, and that will awakening the trauma within you, right? But this is also the house of wealth accumulation, other people's money. Now, with Jupiter there, you could be, I said inheritances, it could be insurances, payouts that you didn't know about, right? So your wealth, you know, your wealth could come under the light of Jupiter this year. And it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. However, be aware that Uranus is on the way. So, you know, be fair, have integrity, set yourself up so that when Uranus ingresses that house, it won't be so shocking. That's a Uranus keyword, shock. All right, so do your work, yes, but realize that you know, there's an expansion of shared resources from others as well. Deep studies of the 8th house, Scorpio risings, but you know this, you're born with Pluto as your ruler, okay, and you're going to have Pluto square your ascendant as Pluto travels through Aquarius. So this is very important to you, this 8th house, Scorpio risings. You've got work to do. You've got healing work to do, and you've got dredging to do. Dredging, okay? But while Jupiter's there, yes, there can be the money that can help you from others in the community or the larger collective that can come to you. But Scorpio, you know the 8th house, you rule the 8th house. So just think, okay, it's going to be expanded. It's going to be expanded, and I need to do the work because Uranus is coming along to awaken that 8th house, which, you know, Gemini, Gemini energy hasn't had those outer planets travel through. So it's going to be big. It's going to be big. And Jupiter is just the start of it. But we're starting off sweet because Jupiter is going to be trining your ruling planet Pluto, Scorpio risings. It's your chart ruler there. You may have the sun in another sign, but with that rising there, you're very aware. You're very, very aware of healing the wounded child within. All right. Thank you very much, Scorpio risings. I'll see you soon. Hey, Sagittarius risings. How are you? 7th house, huh? You've got Jupiter ingressing the 7th house. We know that the 7th house is all about partnering, me and you, marriage. It doesn't have to be marriage, though. It could be business partnerships, any partnering where you and another entity are working together, okay, and have decided to work together. The 7th house is also about public approval, okay, because the 7th house opposes that rising sign of yours, the Sagittarian. Now, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, okay, so this is a really good thing. You may get married this year. You may meet the partner that you're going to marry, Sagittarius risings, but keep in mind the bigger picture. Sagittarius is so positive. They're so confident with Sagittarius rising. Now, with Jupiter ingressing into your 7th house, you need to be aware of the bigger picture because Uranus is going to be ingressing that 7th house next year. Uranus is the great awakener. Uranus is the energy of change. But for change to come, chaos comes. Chaos comes, and then we make the change. So keep in mind about expanding your 7th house themes. How many people have you partnered up with? If it's too many, Uranus is going to come in there and break those bonds to those people. So you've got to keep the big. We've all got to keep the bigger picture in our mind that Jupiter's coming in. Yes, expansion. You know the themes of Jupiter, the positivity, the opportunities that can come to you. Well, these are going to come to you in partnering and in your marriage. Maybe you have been in a marriage that's broken down. Well, Jupiter is going to bring light and awareness and positivity and expansion. Therefore, the relationship may just break down, but it'll be a good thing for you. It may look bad, the relationship's finished. However, it is a good thing for you in the long run. All right. Foreign partners are also a 7th house issue as well. You could have had bad partnerships, bad relationships that have broken down already. Now, with Jupiter ingressing here, they may be resolved. Those issues may be resolved. All right. And that can come with family partnering as well. Okay. Any relationships that's going on, you're going to be aware about it. Okay. You're going to be aware of it. And there's not much really to say for you guys regarding the 7th house, except for its public approval. Right? I'd keep in mind that the 7th house rules public approval. So if you're running out there and making everybody a partner, so to speak, the public may not approve of that. So keep that in mind. And, you know, rein in, you might, it's terrible to tell a Sagittarius or a Sagittarius rising to rein in their positivity. But, you know, like anything, we keep the equanimity. We keep the equanimity. So, you know, Sagittarius, be careful not to gamble on your partners. Don't take them for granted. Okay, this is something you're going to have to be aware of, not taking your partners for granted because everything's going so good. But remember, Uranus is coming along, and anything that needs awakening, Uranus is going to awaken and change. So good luck, whether relationships are starting or whether they're finishing. This is going to be the theme of Jupiter ingressing your 7th house, opposing your ascendant. Okay, so be aware of that opposition. Jupiter opposing your ascendant. You can't go too big. You can't go too big. Keep everything equanimous. You know what I mean? Okay, so good luck. Good luck with your partnerships and all the best. Thank you, Sagittarius risings, and I'll see you soon. Hey, where are we? Capricorn rising. We're nearly there. Capricorns risings. Okay. Now, Jupiter's going to be ingressing your 6th house. And then Uranus is going to be coming along a few weeks after Jupiter leaves this 6th house. Now, guys, the 6th house has got a bad reputation, and there's a reason for that. The ancient astrologers believed that, you know, it was the house of catastrophe. That was the word that they used, okay? And the 6th house rules our day-to-day routine. Now, any human on this planet could tell you that they get sick of their day-to-day routines and they want change and they want excitement. Well, this isn't the house, okay? This isn't the house for that. This is your day-to-day work. And it's also your health house, right? So with Jupiter ingressing into your 6th house, I'm a little bit worried that if there are any health issues, then Jupiter's going to expand those issues for you to take note and to look at and to do what you've got to do to heal any health issues that at the moment you're thinking, oh yeah, it'll be right. No, well, Jupiter's coming in to expand that, if that's the case, if you've got health issues, all right. But if you haven't got health issues and there's an underlying health issue, well, Jupiter's going to come in to expand that health issue so that you can go and deal with it, to heal with it. But the thing with Jupiter is it's positive. So you're going to feel confident. The opportunities are going to come to you. You know, if it's a health issue, you may have the opportunity of a new doctor that knows all about what you're dealing with. Okay, Capricorn rising. The 6th house, you know, it's about self-improvement. So Jupiter is coming in to give you the energy, to give you the enthusiasm for self-improvement, whether that's spiritual, whether that's health, and whether that's physical. You know, Jupiter is very athletic. Capricorns aren't so athletic, okay? I'm a Capricorn. They're not so athletic. So Jupiter coming into your 6th house may be inspiring you to start a routine, a health routine. Right? Raw food diet, or just going to the gym every day, or just walking, or doing something to bring it into a daily routine for you, right, to improve your health. And Jupiter's got lots of energy for that. And if you don't do this work in the next 12 months and you don't change things up with the opportunities that Jupiter's going to bring, well, in comes Uranus next year, right? And before change happens with Uranus, there's chaos. Before change is chaos. People think change happens like bang, bang. No, it's bang, chaos, change, because humans don't like change. So to us, it is chaos. And Capricorns just like everything, you know, the way it is. They don't like change either. So there could be a new job, day-to-day job, all right? So there could be expansion of your day-to-day work, what you do in the day, your routines in the day. You know, you're going to enjoy your job more. Any menial, you know, the sixth house is all about menial tasks. Those jobs that we go, oh, we just keep putting them off and putting them off. Well, Jupiter will bring you the energy to clean that cupboard out, or to do what you've got to do that you've had in your mind. In comes Jupiter to give you that energy and joy. You need the joy to do some of those jobs, so you won't feel so bad, you know, going to that job every day. Also, the sixth house, you know, you can benefit with Jupiter from co-workers. Anyone who's in your day-to-day routine, right? You benefit from that energy. You need to watch your weight. You're another rising sign that will need to watch their weight with Jupiter ingressing the sixth house, okay? Because Jupiter expands. So be careful of your weight. But if you've started your exercise routine, which should be part of your daily routine, and I'm talking everybody, not just Capricorn risings, exercise for health and well-being is very important for everybody, and it should be part of our daily routine. So be careful that your daily routine doesn't get overbooked, because Jupiter's coming, expansion, and it's easy to overbook ourselves. Our daily routine is our diary. And I wake up then, I do this, I clean my teeth, I go to the gym, I go to work, I go to the shopping to get food, all those things that we do day to day, just as part of the human's survival on planet. Okay, so be careful not to overbook your daily routine. Overscheduling is the word. All right, and remember, Uranus is coming next year. So next year, if you're not in good health, if you're over consuming, you know, the addictions, be careful of your addictions this year, Capricorn rising, because Jupiter's coming and those addictions can be expanded. But that can be a good thing, because that can wake you up to health issues from over consuming addictive substances, if you know what I mean. All right, and Capricorns love to work. So you're going to, in Capricorn rising, you know, love to work. So you're going to enjoy your day-to-day activities. All right, I've got to keep remembering I'm talking to Capricorn risings who are very disciplined and are always on their own back about, you know, what they should be doing and what they didn't do. All right, so go easy on yourselves, Capricorn risings. If you do overindulge, go easy on yourself, because it's only Jupiter. It's not you. It's only Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter can only go as far as Saturn will allow. Saturn rules Capricorn. Okay, so I'm not worried about you guys. You'll keep a rein on your day-to-day affairs and your health issues. Okay, and remember that for Capricorn risings, that our wealth is in our health. So if we're feeling healthy and we're feeling good and we're feeling positive, then, you know, what your value system is, Capricorn rising, can expand. And our value system with Capricorn energy is our career, right? Is working up the ladder. So if you've got your health in check and your daily routines in check, this is going to make it a lot easier for you, Capricorn risings. Okay. And watch the weight gain, because, you know, Capricorn risings would be known, unless there's other factors in the chart, as slim people. Okay. Yeah, so if there is weight gain, it's just Jupiter, and it's Jupiter in your sixth house. All right, and it's the details. The sixth house is all about the details. So don't let the details get out of control. Don't let the scheduling get out of control with Jupiter. Rein it in. You guys have got Saturn behind you, so rein it in. All right. So all the best, Capricorn rising, and I'll see you soon. Here we go. Aquarius rising. How you going? You've got Jupiter in the 5th house. Wow. I know you've got Pluto there now in the 1st house, you Aquarius risings. I know you're entertaining Pluto for the next 20 odd years, but Jupiter loves being in the 5th house. And this year, you know, you're going to have the opportunity for some fun, for some play. Now, Pluto's all seriousness and deep and heavy, right? But this year, this next year, try to find the time to have fun. It's a house of romance. So part of your Pluto transit may be about a new relationship and lessons and healing and transformation in romance. Okay, so it's not 7th house, it's 5th house romance. So, you know, with romances, they may not all end up to be a partner. Okay, they're just romances. They're like flings, you could say. So if you're at that age and that's what's happening, enjoy it, Aquarius rising. This is the house of creativity. So with Jupiter there, you may find that you're more interested and really enjoying and loving your crafts, painting, anything creative, singing, anything on stage. You know, if you have those gifts, this is a great year to step out there and enjoy your creative gifts. You're also going to love being around children. You're going to have a great year with your own children. That Jupiter optimism, the Jupiter confidence, the enthusiasm, you know, to play, you know, with your children or with some sort of creative theme. The 5th house is about self-expression. As I said, you may have the opportunity to be at the front of the choir, right? That sort of energy. Beware, though, you've got to be aware of overconfidence with Jupiter. Yes, it's all lovely and it's all expansive and we think it's never going to end, but it does. It's a year. It's only a year in that house. And so whatever themes Jupiter's expanding, remember, it's only going to be for a year. And remember that Uranus is on its way next July. Jupiter leaves your 5th house and zoom, in comes Uranus. And Uranus brings change. And before we can have change, we have chaos, right? It's change, chaos, change. And that's how it works. And you know, as a fixed rising sign, Aquarius, don't like change, okay? Don't like change. But your ruler, Aquarius's ruler, is going to be ingressing into your 5th house to create an awakening there. Right? An awakening to the themes of the 5th house. You, this next year with Jupiter, could be feeling all this freedom. Just enjoy it, okay? It's only once every 12 years that you get that positive feeling good in the 5th house. Vacations, it's a great time to go on a holiday. To go on vacations. It's the best time because you're so positive and you're relaxed and you're not thinking about all the day-to-day affairs of the 6th house. You know, it's socializing energy as well as romance. You're out socializing. To meet a romantic partner, you're out there. You put yourself out there. So go out there, Aquarius risings, and socialize. You know, have fun. Recreation, do all those fun things that we like to do in life. It is also the house of gambling. So if you're inclined to gamble, you know, Jupiter could bring you some luck. But remember, if you are overconfident with your gambling and think that you're not going to lose, because that's what Jupiter does. It just gives you this energy in the mind, in Gemini, the mind, it gives you that energy that you think, oh, I can't lose. I can't lose. Okay, so Gemini ruling the 5th house, Just go and have fun, go and socialize, go and be with everybody, but keep the awareness there of not going overboard. All right, not gambling, overspending, because you're less inhibited with Jupiter there in the 5th house. But it's a fun house. But remember, if you, I don't know if there's any Aquarius risings out there that don't know how to have fun, but it's a thing, not knowing how to have fun, especially for my generation people. You know, Uranus is coming in to awaken this house, right? So if you're out there having fun, let's say as an example, and you're of childbearing age, well, Uranus might come in next year and set you up ready to have a child, because the 5th house is about creating, and it's about creating what we can create just from our own body is another human being. So Aquarius risings, child might be born to you this year, and it's a great year to get pregnant if you're wanting to get pregnant. This is a fabulous year if you're wanting to get pregnant, Aquarius risings. But you know how to have fun, Aquarius risings. You go out and have fun and enjoy all the creativity that's in your life and the opportunities for creativity, having in mind that Uranus is coming and going to awaken what's not serving you in this house. And remember, overindulgence. That's it. Thank you, Aquarius risings, and I'll see you all soon. Pisces rising, last but not least in any manner, that's for sure. Beautiful Pisces, you've got Jupiter ingressing into your 4th house of home and family this year. So with Jupiter as the expander, you know, there may be another family member born this year. Home improvements, this is a great year to expand your home. So you may want to renovate, you may want to sell that small house and get a bigger house. All right, you may find that as a Pisces rising with Jupiter, you know, you're going to feel an increase in your security, your home security and your safety, because that 4th house is also about family roots, right? And that's our ancestors, okay? And all of our conditioning is usually passed down through our ancestors. So that may come up, and that's called psychological well-being. So if there's work that a Pisces rising needs to do in their 4th house, this may be, or you've been doing it for the last few years, this may be the year where you'll feel the results of ancestral healing. Okay, you've done the work, and this is the year that you're going to feel secure and comfortable in your sense of psychological well-being, because our psychological well-being is connected to our families. If we're loved by our family and extended family, well, we feel good. We feel full power. And anyone that's had a dark night of the soul and has lost their family, you know, they've realized how much our self-esteem is reliant on our family system and ancestry. Stability with Jupiter there. Jupiter's going to bring opportunities, okay? Jupiter brings opportunities. So there'll be opportunities for real estate. You know, it's very much a real estate family. It's a 3D area, okay? Other than the family roots, it's a 3D area, that 4th house. There could have been problems in the family, and with Jupiter coming in, Jupiter could iron out those problems. You've got the opportunity to fix some of those family relationships that may have broken down up until now. It will depend on your chart and whether you've got any planets in that 4th house, right? A south node in that 4th house would mean to release those connections, all right, because the north node would be in the 10th house. Okay, so you do need, you know, to know a little bit more about your chart with the 4th house and what's going on with family, because there is in the wider collective, there's a breakdown of family systems. Okay, so be aware of that, Pisces, but you're the evolved soul, Pisces, and I know you know what I'm talking about. All right, so if you want to get a new home this year, then, you know, this is the year to do it. If you want to sell your home, this is the year to do it. You've got to keep in mind, though, Uranus is on the way next July. So Jupiter will leave this fourth house, and then Uranus will come in. So, you know, if there is ever going to be a breakdown of family systems, it will be when Uranus ingresses your fourth house, because it is the Great Awakener, and it changes. It changes the energy. All right, you Pisces are so compassionate, and, you know, so giving and supporting of others. That Uranus, you know, you may be over supporting others. You may be putting others before yourself. Family, I'm talking about, okay? Family and extended family. You may be over giving in that area. And be careful with Jupiter coming in, because you're going to feel good and you're going to feel like you want to give to these families, but you've just got to be careful you don't over give to the families, right? Because Uranus is coming, and if you're over giving, you know, it's a boundary issue. And with Saturn in Pisces, in your first house, you know, you'll be learning all about boundaries and the limitation of Saturn. All right, and Saturn is the 10th house ruler, which opposes, you know, Capricorn opposes that fourth house. Okay, so really Pisces risings, you know, the fourth house is very important for you, because that is the area that you overgive. All right, and you allow bad behavior. You don't put up boundaries with your family, and this can wear you down. And with Jupiter going in there, you might overdo it, and then Uranus is going to come in and go, not the right way. I'm going to reawaken you and your family system, or your relationship with your family system. All right. Okay. You know all of this. You know all of this. But enjoy the good of Jupiter. Enjoy the good expansion. But don't think it's going to happen forever. It's only 12 months. All right. With our human mind, we can think, oh, wow, I've turned a corner. It's never going to stop. Remember the card, Wheel of Fortune, right? So Jupiter now is on the rise. You've had Jupiter waning, right? You've had Jupiter waning from the top of your chart, your midheaven. Jupiter's gone all the way down the left-hand side of your chart and is now in your fourth house. It has waned. So now, in the next 12 years, Jupiter's going to expand your life. Big picture. Big picture. I'm talking destiny, okay? I'm not just talking 12 months. It's on the rise as Jupiter rises back up to the 10th house. So Jupiter may give you the opportunity to let go of some family members. And to some people, they might think that's terrible. But to you, Pisces rising, you may be in a situation where you just can't let them. You're having trouble letting these people go. Jupiter may be there to help you, and that would be a good thing for you. All right. So it's not a loss. It's an expansion for yourself. Okay. So it's all about family. It's all about real estate, and enjoy. And you're going to feel positive about it all. You're going to feel good about it all. All right, Pisces. Thank you so much. You're the last sign, and I'm going to finish the video now. And I got through. And I love you all. Thank you so much. Bye.